I'm in Iowa, about to go meet loads of women who have been sentenced to life without parole. In this prison, there are more than 40 women who have been told they'll be inside until they die.
Okay. Oh, yeah. This is gonna be fun.
Women at the Well worship is being held in the sacred place at 7.
But this is no ordinary prison.
Oh my gosh, taster's choice.
Oh, cute.
They're mentally unwell, and you're a convicted murderer.
Yeah.
And they trust you with this.
Yeah.
Here they are trying a radical way of dealing with female prisoners.
Sex. Does it happen? Yeah, but we would prefer that it didn't.
Some have just arrived.
This is just a nightmare. I mean, there's not going to be some big confession after 20 years because I know what I didn't do. And I didn't kill my husband.
Some have been here for decades.
I told you there was hope and miracles happened, didn't I?
For me, I've always been sort of genuinely fascinated in terms of how you cope when someone said, that's it, we're taking your freedom away from you forever. So yeah, keen to know what life is like after life.
You stabbed a woman over 20 times who was trying to help you. A decent woman. How do you live with yourself after doing something like that?
Hi, Cheryl. I'm Stacey. You're in charge, I'm told.
I am. I'm the warden.
Are you happy to show me around?
I sure will.
Right, I'm following you.
So right here we have the Master Control Center, which operates all the cameras and the doors.
Attention, there is a door open.
I've come to investigate one of the most radical prisons in America. There are more than 700 women here, from drunk drivers to violent murderers. 3 years ago, Cheryl Darn took over and came up with a new regime. She had one goal: devise the best way of dealing with female prisoners.
You act like I'm doing something. Why you always put me on blast like that?
So this is what we would call general population yard. We don't house according to their custody level, and here we house according to their behavior.
Spread out. You go that way. I'm going to tell something.
So if you're doing well, you have all the freedom of movement that you want.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hi, how are
Hello.
Taking us for a walk.
So what, this prison has pet dogs?
Yes.
So what's the story? The dogs stay in a certain part of the prison and then you're allowed to take them out for a walk?
They stay in our rooms with us, in kennels in our rooms, and we take care of them.
That's such a treat for you.
Yeah. Therapy dogs.
That's so cool. What's your name?
Josette.
How old are you now?
I'm 41. I came when I was 22.
You look good for your age, by the way.
Thank you. That's what we call it, prison preserved. No cigarettes, no drugs.
How long you got left?
I have the rest of my life here.
You're a lifer, without parole?
Yep.
What did you do, Josette?
I was in a carjacking type of situation, and I shot a Chinese man, and he died. It wasn't my intention, but that's what happened, so I have to pay the price. That's the breaks. There's no sense of bitching about it. Let's just take it a day at a time. It's easy. It's just easy. You wake up like, oh, thank God I'm alive.
For centuries, American prisons were designed and run only with men in mind. Cheryl doesn't do things like that. This prison does feel very progressive. You have this idea of what prison life is like in modern America, and you imagine, discipline is at the forefront of everything. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. But Cheryl doesn't believe that approach works. When you say, you're going to go and spend some time in a prison and meet lifers, this is not what you imagine. They've got freedom, there's no curfew, they've got makeup, they're allowed to use the phone whenever they want, they've got pet chihuahuas. There will be some people, they will think this is totally unjust. They shouldn't be allowed to live a life like this inside.
And I would say the key word is inside. When you step out of this, you'll see the fence and the razor wire. No matter how comfortable, no matter how pretty this place is, at the end of the day, it's still prison.
I'm not the only person adjusting to life in Cheryl's prison.
Just go ahead and have a seat.
Five days ago, 47-year-old Barbara Parza started her life sentence. She was convicted of first-degree murder for drugging her husband and then setting the house on fire. The court heard that she had recently taken out a $200,000 life insurance policy on her husband.
Okay, we'll go into stall number 1. These are your clothes for here, okay? They're stamping your name on them.
I want to know how you cope knowing this is going to be your home for the rest of your life.
Hello, Barbara. I'm Stacey. Hi. How'd you do? Thank you. Barbara, how are you doing today?
Still on my first week here, so it's hard to adjust. And it's crazy out there, so there's a lot of loud, obnoxious people that I'm not used to.
Tell me about your first day here.
It was overwhelming. There was a lot of emotion. Just, I guess, the finale of it. Really thought I'd get to go home.
All right, and left hand will do the palms.
Lost my life, I've lost my career. I've lost my children.
So for complete clarity, Barbara, you're saying you didn't poison him and you didn't set the house on fire?
No, I didn't.
All right, so I'll have you come over here and you're gonna stand in front of the camera. All right.
Are you sat here thinking, maybe I will get out, or do you accept that you may die here?
I still have an appeal process.
So that's what you're holding on to right now?
Yeah. Because if you don't have hope, then you don't have anything.
When the women first come here, they've been sentenced to life without parole. How long does it take them to accept what's happened? So Barbara, for example, she seems completely bewildered and in total denial.
Yeah, I don't think her or anybody within the first 5 years understand, gee, Merry Christmas, this is where I'm at. How could they?
Do you think Barbara will cope in here? Do you think she'll survive?
I think she has to survive.
Right, there's no alternative.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been in loads of prisons all over the world, and this one feels strangely calm. It can be easy to forget the awful crimes that put the women in here.
Oh my gosh, taste your choice. Oh, cute. That's awesome.
Particularly when everyone treats this place like home.
I got Nivea. Yay, thank you.
We're painting this morning, Tatiana.
Spruce it up a bit. Just gives me something to do. This is like very soothing and relaxing. I just put my music on and I just, I just zone out.
Tatiana Dixon was convicted of first-degree murder at 20. Now 37, she's a trusted prisoner.
Does it ever get overwhelming in here?
I wouldn't say overwhelming, but like I'm bipolar. So sometimes I just get super depressed. Sometimes I just don't want to deal with people. And there's nowhere you can really go in here to be alone but the shower, That's the only time I can really be alone. If I need to cry or just need to vent, because there's just people always around and they just watch you.
This is your 17th year. Why are you in here?
Listen, can we do this in the room?
Yeah, of
so I can
course.
get this type, because I want to give you honest answers, but I don't want to be
Let's do
distracted
that.
about people.
Totally.
Yeah. All right. In this corner.
Look how tidy you are.
Yeah, very tidy. I was selling drugs to support myself. And on this particular night, the victim, she asked me to borrow a particular CD, Jay-Z Blueprint. And I told her no, because she don't return things. I say 15 minutes later, I realized the CD was gone. So I went to her apartment. She grabbed a knife, started charging towards me. So I'm like, what the fuck? I told her, next time you threaten me, I suggest you kill me. Now, there's a landing of stairs, and I'm looking over and I hear her going off. And then I remember her like charging up the stairs. The last thing I remember is me pointing the gun, shot her again. I guess I shot her 4 times, they say.
Do you think about the life you've taken every day?
I did for like the first maybe 7 years.
Yeah.
I started to put things that were traumatic way, way back. And that's things that happened with my mom, that's things that happened in foster care, that's things. I don't want to deal with it.
Life outside, it was rough.
Yeah. This is easy. This is easy for me. This is easy. Statistic from birth, since then I've been cursed. And just when I think you can get, oh yeah, it gets worse. But I try not to think about it every night, yet I dream about it. If it weren't for the grace of God, I don't know where I'd be. Each and every morning when I wake up and I take a look in the mirror, because I realize everything I'm capable of, and I throw it away. It tell me I'm serving the rest of my life because I made a tragic mistake for exchanging a robbery. Life for life, yeah, I understand. Shouldn't have did what I did. Now I gotta deal with this because I'm on my own.
All right. Ty, that
verse.
is good.
Thank you.
Oh my God, that is good.
Thank you.
Ty is good.
Wow.
True talent.
Yeah.
I think a common thread here for many of the women is trauma. So many of these females have experienced violence of some description, physical violence, sexual violence, drug abuse. Just very difficult paths up until now, and that's not excusing their crimes in any way, but it's certainly worth acknowledging.
The prison estimates that more than 3/4 of inmates suffered physical or sexual violence before they ended up here. Gisette Williams had been in care and was high on drugs when in her early 20s she murdered a man in a carjacking.
It sounds quite ruthless.
Yeah.
It sounds quite heartless.
It does. That's what happened though. We were on drugs. When you're on drugs, your mind's not right.
What were you on?
Oh, we were smoking marijuana, ecstasy pills, all that. Just drinking, just doing whatever. You know, that's what we did. But this whole 18 years, it's like really changed me.
Like in many prisons, most of the inmates here earn a small amount of money doing jobs. But what I find strange about this place is that a violent murderer like Gisette Williams is trusted to work in the mental health unit.
What did she say to you when she came to the door?
Do you want to hurt yourself? And I said no. And she said, do you want to hurt anybody else? I said no.
It's time to eat though. It's tuna. Every 5 minutes we have to check on them and write down a little note. Like basically she's just waiting for lunch every 5 minutes. Because even though there's a camera in the cell, the staff aren't always at the desk to see what's going on.
I mean, that's a real sort of genuine responsibility for you.
Yeah.
They're mentally unwell, and you're a convicted murderer,
Yeah.
and they trust you with this.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You have someone's like life literally in your hands. You have to like be on it with certain people.
The good thing about having someone like Josette in that position is they don't take advantage of her because she does have credibility here at the facilities.
Would you trust her with your family members?
Yeah, around them, absolutely.
You would?
Your kids?
Yeah. She's made her mistakes. They're horrible mistakes. There's no excuse from them. She's paying with her life sentence, but I don't think she's a dangerous person now, like she was at one time.
Do you feel jealous of those that aren't lifers?
Absolutely not. I'm just mad at myself, like, dang, why couldn't I do something petty? You know, why did I have to do something that big to get myself for the rest of my life in here?
Josette and Tatiana, they will die in prison.
Yeah. I'm sure their victims are thinking, and they should. For me, when I look at them, they've changed so much. They came in hell on wheels. And when I see them for the women they are today, I like them. They're good people. I'm sure both of them would say if they could change it, they would, but they can't. You can't turn back that.
This prison has transformed Tatiana Dixon and Josette Williams, but it's taken years. Like many young lifers, they started off fighting the system. They spent their fair share of time locked up in here. Segregation. Seg is the toughest punishment in the prison. You only get an hour a day outside your cell. Seg is the last place I would want to end up. 22-year-old Cheyenne Harris is less than a year into her life sentence.
What are you looking at?
I want to know why she's struggling.
Why have they moved you up to this ward?
Because I got into my first altercation.
A physical fight?
Yeah.
Why?
This girl, she made a comment that was directed directly towards my charge and why I'm here, and yeah, I turned around and beat the shit out of her.
What did she say that made you so angry?
She said, "Yeah, bitch, that's why you killed your son."
Did you kill your son?
No.
The courts clearly thought that you were responsible.
If I hadn't been high on meth, it never would have happened. I was not a good person when I was on meth and trying to be a mom. I wasn't. He was extremely neglected.
Where did you find him?
In his room, in his swing.
How long was he left alone for?
I can't say exactly sure how long he was left alone for.
I think it was days.
It was days before I went in there.
You're clearly struggling mentally. Do you imagine this is how you will go on to exist?
I don't know, other people here say that it gets better, that it won't be so hard, but in all reality, I think that's bullshit.
Do you think you'll hurt for the rest of your life?
Yeah, but I'll live.
Do you want to live?
Depends on the day.
Cheyenne Harris's crime is one of the most horrific things I've ever heard, and it's going to haunt her. In prison, not all murderers are equal. Child killers are considered the lowest of the low, but she's going to have to find a way to cope.
This little book is called To You, Love God. It's to you, so I always say, Judy, open your eyes and see. Let your vision soak in the wonder and beauty all around you, and know that it is the reflection of your soul's own inner splendor. Open your eyes to the limitless goodness that is. Love God.
Judy White was convicted of first-degree murder in 1979. This prison has been her home for more than 40 years.
What's the hardest thing about being in prison?
Being away from my children. That's the worst.
How many children do you have in total?
I have 5 children, 11 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren.
And you were what age when you came to prison?
33.
Were you working? What did you do for a living?
I had foster babies. I had over 100 foster babies.
You were a foster mum?
Yes.
And now you're sat in prison serving life?
Yeah.
What did you do? Why are you here?
My friend and I were sitting around her kitchen table, and she's just like, oh God, I just wish 80 was dead. And I was laughing, and I was like, because I said, well, this crazy man that came to our house last night, I said, he'd probably do something like that for $50. They took that and they hired that man to kill her husband.
Were you physically there at the time?
No, no.
But you were instrumental and you knew what was going to happen?
I knew that they had was planning to kill him, yes. And I didn't do anything to stop it. So therefore they say I'm just as guilty as the person who shot him.
Do you think your sentence was justified?
Yes, I should do time in prison, absolutely. I don't think I should have went free, no. But I don't know that I should have got a life sentence because I didn't kill him, you know.
How long do you think would have been acceptable?
Well, I don't know, maybe 25 years, you know.
There must be days, Judy, when you're just like, how did this happen? Like, how am I here, serving life without parole? When prior to this, you'd never been in trouble?
No, I didn't even have a speeding ticket or anything. No.
You've never been here before, correct? Okay.
Barbara Parza had also never been in trouble before.
You'll get through it. Doing time is all about how you choose to do it.
She's been given a mentor to help her settle in.
I got you.
Okay.
Like all the new prisoners, she will spend the first month of her sentence living under restricted conditions.
I'm going to catch up with Barbara. I'm going to go and see Barbara.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Did you sleep? Did you manage to sleep last night?
Yeah, I take a medicine to help me sleep, so that probably a half hour after I take it, I'm goodbye for a while.
Seems to do the trick.
Yep.
Am I right to come in?
Yep.
Oh, I'll be quiet because this lady's sleeping.
Yeah, she sleeps all the time, so we're okay.
Oh, right. So which one's your bed?
The bottom bunk is mine.
Here's pictures of your kids.
Yep.
Last time we spoke, you hadn't heard from your kids.
I haven't tried to call them yet either. They can block me on the phone. I'm gonna write a letter, ask for their forgiveness, and to be their mom again. And that's all I can do.
When you say that you're gonna ask for forgiveness, you still maintain
yes,
you're innocent in terms of the crime that you've been convicted of?
Yes. This is just a nightmare. I mean, there's not gonna be some big confession after 20 years because I know what I didn't do. And I didn't kill my husband. And if it doesn't get resolved, I guess I'll just, you know, I have to accept this is gonna be my life.
You're not a lifer.
2 years. I'm not a lifer. I don't know what that feels like. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I don't know how I would handle coming here knowing I'm never gonna leave. It's a whole different, you know, perspective.
Which is what you're trying to navigate your way through at the minute.
Right. And it's hard listening to, you know, the girls saying I've got 25 years and I'll do a year or know that they're gonna go home.
Lots of lifers here seem to be quite religious and they believe they're going to heaven.
Yeah.
Which feels sort of slightly odd to me.
No, because you have to repent your sins and ask for forgiveness and God's gonna forgive you of anything.
Oh yeah, even murder?
Even though it's one of the 10 Commandments, as long as you repent your sins, you know, it's never too late.
Do you think you're going to heaven?
If you don't think I'm going to heaven, that's your opinion. It's what's between me and God. And nobody can judge that relationship.
Before Barbara Parza and other new prisoners move into the wider prison, Cheryl lets them know what's in store for them.
expectations that I have. Just because it's a prison doesn't mean that you have to act like you're in prison, if that makes any sense. You're here, some of you for life, but hold yourself high. Just because you're in here in a blue scrub does not mean you're any less than me. Let's see. Sex. Sex happens in prison, but it is a rule that you're not supposed to have sex. You can't hold hands, you can't kiss, nothing like that. Does it happen? Yeah, but we would prefer that it didn't. Before I got here, when people were caught, meaning we walked in on them, they were handcuffed, walked over to segregation. We started talking about that a little bit because sex is not against the law out on the streets. I had a hard time with people getting handcuffed after they were caught because I don't want women to feel dirty about their bodies or about what they do. And so it's important that we also respect that.
Cheryl wants to treat the women as grown-ups, but sex is the main disciplinary problem in the prison. Officers patrol the rooms every half hour. 2 women have just been caught in bed together.
No, tomorrow.
Maya Williams is a counsellor. I want to find out what is allowed between prisoners.
When you catch them in the act, what happens?
Now that we're being more gender responsive, we try to do things a little bit differently. If it's a male officer, he'll kind of step away and say, get your clothes on and you need to come out. If it was mutual, we let them know that this is not appropriate.
We talked about this before, you remember? I know that. This is not supposed to be happening.
We understand that women are relationship driven. So as much as we think like we're doing everything to stop it, it's very, very, very hard.
Oh, it's very complicated.
It is very complicated, yes.
Well, women have needs.
Yeah, oh yes, and they're, relationship driven.
Are there dildos in here, or is it just like oral?
No, they do everything. You would be amazed. They make those, and as much
dildos?
they make them, yes.
Out of what?
I think before they've used oatmeal.
Oatmeal?
Yeah, and I think they cook it or something. One lady said that they would use hot dogs, so you had to be careful with, with them bringing the hot dogs back and putting them. So they come up with some things.
Oatmeal, I've never heard that before, and hot dogs. Yeah. Mia.
I can see why, having been cut off from the outside world, many women seek out relationships inside. Judy White was married with children when she was convicted of first-degree murder.
Hi, Pops. How are you?
Then she met Helena Burrell, better known as Pops, who is also serving life for murder. And somehow they've managed to keep a relationship going for more than 30 years.
You 2 have been together longer than I've been alive.
That's a long time, honey. Yeah, I suppose.
Was it love at first sight?
Yeah, it was for me, not for her. I don't think that was for me.
Why did you fall for Pop so quickly?
I don't know.
She bored, being in prison.
Nope, sir. That isn't true.
I don't know.
I just like the way you look. Yeah, we're really best friends because, I trust her with everything.
So when people say something now, I say we're companions. The relationship changes over years.
You prioritize different things.
Well, are you awake today? Are you alive today? Great. Hi, honey.
It's less about the sex and more about checking if you're alive.
Yep.
I guess to survive a life sentence, you need relationships, whether it's inside or outside prison. Barbara Parza is trying to work out what to say to her children. She hasn't spoken to them since she was convicted of murdering their father.
My dearest Kate, I finally arrived at the facility and doing okay. I've got your pictures hung around my bed, and now when I see your smile, I remind myself of your hurt and feelings. When we spoke the last time, she told me kind of where I failed as a mother. And she says she's happy now because I'm not in her life. But, she hugged me before I left, so I really think there's a potential there to rebuild. I have to have faith in that.
know, it's so hard being 16 anyway, right?
Yeah.
When you have both parents around,
Right.
and now she has neither parents around.
I kept telling her, Kate, I'm trying to be the person that you need me to be. And she just kept saying, you can't do that because you're not going to be here. That I would do anything to be there. And that's the part of this that kills me inside. I'm not there for my kids.
I think it's slowly dawning on Barbara Parza that when she murdered her husband, she gave up the chance to be a mother to her children.
Attention, there is a door open.
Today is a big day because it's Visitors' Day. I would say there is a buzz about the place. You know, there's a queue for the showers. The girls are putting their lippy on, the hair dryers are going. Look at me. You've got it on your tooth.
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone. Thank you.
Visitors' Day is complicated for Tatiana Dixon. She's serving life for first-degree murder. But her longtime partner, Kristen, was released from prison 2 years ago. Most prisons wouldn't allow them to see each other again. But Cheryl allows Kristen to visit twice a year.
How did you two get together in here?
She was a tutor up in education, but I was always shy around her. I don't know why. And I would tell my friends all the time, I'm gonna get her. She's just so smart. I like smart people. And she's one of the smartest people I've ever met.
Have you always liked women?
Yes.
Has she?
No, I'm the first. No.
Does Cheryl allow you to embrace?
Yeah. We get to before the visit and after the visit.
Are you allowed to snog?
Yes.
Got a couple of months worth locked inside you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
What does your future together look like realistically?
What it looks like is what we have every day. We talk every day. But as far as what the future holds, I can't predict. I understand the severity of the situation. I have life. She has a life. All right.
Happy?
Yep.
You look smart. How long do you get with Kristen?
All day.
You do?
Yep.
Thank you. Have you got butterflies?
Yeah.
Oh. Woo. There's nothing nicer, is there, than going to see your special person?
You look nice.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Stacey. Yeah, likewise. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
I've heard so much about you, Kristen. I feel like I'm meeting the Queen. I really do.
You're illegal. Why am I illegal?
You're supposed to have it down to your knees.
What's my knees?
Your shirt.
What?
But that's okay. We're still gonna let you in.
Oh, I didn't know.
You're looking too cute, man. You can't be like
It's a
that.
shirt and pants. Are you
Is it?
serious? It's a shirt. It's a shirt, and then you just judge me.
Okay.
I think you will really split people. I think some people will think you recognise that these women are human beings as well as offenders. Other people will say you're too soft on these women. Prison is too comfortable. They've got all of these privileges that the victims' families might not want them to have.
Oh, I think there will be people that will look at me and think, you need to experience what we experience.
And I understand that.
Yeah,
you know,
I
like,
do too.
And what would you say if they said they're not suffering, they're not hurting in the same way that we are?
Correct. They aren't. They're still alive. And my job is to keep them safe and make this place a humane place while they're still on Earth. But at the end of the day, there's times that I question myself. Am I doing the right thing?
In Cheryl's prison, good behaviour permits the lifers to live out their days in relative comfort. But for one lifer, good behaviour is far more important because it means she could get out.
Ruth Ann, I'm Stacey.
I'm Ruth Ann.
How'd you do?
Good.
Very
Nice to
nice
meet
to see you. Yeah, likewise.
Ruth Ann Veal committed first-degree murder at the age of just 14. Sentenced to life without parole, she's grown up in prison.
I was so young, and I had to learn to fend for myself, and I knew that people were intimidated by my size, and I knew I could fight, and I knew that I was gonna die, so it didn't matter about following the rules. So being good wasn't gonna get me out of prison. It didn't matter.
So what number's yours? 3. Are you happy to talk about your crime?
I talk about it now, but before I wouldn't talk about it because I didn't come to terms with what I had done.
Will you tell me what you did?
I was on the run. I ran away from the group home I was at in Quakerdale, and I just walked up to the house, and I knocked on the door, and Catherine Haynes, she answered the door, and she said, "You can come in," and I asked if I can use the phone, and she let me use the phone and everything. She was nice to me. She gave me orange juice, everything. And I seen the knife, and so I grabbed the knife, and I just was trying to get her upstairs so I can get her car keys. And I just panicked. I just wanted the car keys, and then I just didn't want to get locked up or go back home, and I just freaked out, and I started stabbing her.
You're 14.
Yeah.
When you stabbed her to death.
Mm-hmm.
How many times did you stab her?
They said I stabbed her 23 times, but I don't even remember that.
I mean, some women are in here, Ruth Ann, because they were attacked. They would say it was self-defense. But you stabbed a woman over 20 times who was trying to help you.
Mm-hmm.
A decent woman. How do you live with yourself after doing something like that?
Being who I am today, I would never do that. But it just breaks my heart because I know her daughter hurt so bad. Nobody wants to know that their mom died that way, you know? I don't know what I can do about it.
Ruth Ann Veal's crime was brutal, her behaviour in prison poor. But now, at 41, she might have a second chance.
We are en route to the community centre.
Yes.
And it's only your second ever shift here.
Yes.
It's just completely different for you, isn't it?
Yes. I got to feel like I was free for a little bit.
The Supreme Court has ruled it's inhumane to deny the opportunity of parole to juvenile criminals.
Thank you.
To get out, Ruth Ann must convince the parole board she's changed.
Hello.
How are you this morning?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Ruth Ann, she stabbed someone to death over 20 times. Is she still a threat? Could she kill someone else?
Well, studies show that she would not, but I don't have a crystal ball with that. I do know that a year ago I did not support Ruth Ann leaving.
Why?
Because I think that she was doing things just to get out.
So putting on a show?
Yeah.
If you get out, would you do something like this for a living? I mean...
No, I would like to volunteer. You don't do this for a living. I want to start my own landscaping company. I'm really good at that, doing the yard. And I also want to flip houses, but I really am passionate about working with troubled youth. Sorry, excuse my reach.
At the same time, I believe in chances. I believe that people can change.
Here you go, ma'am.
Ruth Ann has been seen by mental health professionals that would say that she is on her way to being healthy. And that's what's so hard. Sometimes I think, why did I want this job?
It is bizarre. Ruth Ann Veal has not been the best behaved prisoner, but she's got the chance of getting out. The turnaround in her prospects has affected the other lifers, like her best friend, Gisette Williams.
I'm not gonna die here. I know I'm not gonna die here.
What makes you say that?
Well, I feel like this. The more juveniles that they let out, like Ruth Ann, the more juveniles that succeed, the more juveniles that don't come back is paving the way for them to look at lifers. To look at, okay, after they've served 40 years, let them out. If they've proven that they have been rehabilitated and that they're a changed person, let them out. I have faith in that.
Many of the lifers are holding on to this little bit of hope. Actually, there might be a change with the law that affects my case. I might get out, even though they're serving life without parole. I wonder if you need that sort of false hope, arguably, to just get through it here.
Really, the lifers only have one remote chance of getting out. Every 10 years, they can appeal to the parole board to get their sentence reduced. Judy White has already been turned down twice. Now her lawyer is trying to get her another hearing ahead of schedule.
Do you think you'll die in prison?
No, I've never thought that.
Really?
No.
Is that blind faith or?
I don't know. I don't know what you call it. That's just how I believe. I just don't believe I'll be here forever. So we'll see if I have any messages. No, I have nothing. Just have to wait.
It all feels pretty bleak, but you're still full of hope. Do you think if you were sat here saying, do you know what, Stacey? I know I'm going to die here, you would still be able to get out of the bed every day? Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, there's people that believe that here, and they get out of bed every day. I don't know, that's not me. That's not that I don't get depressed. No, I get depressed every now and then, and I'm like, I can't do this another day. I'm just done. And I just want to stay in bed and not even move. But then I have to get over that, because I probably couldn't survive like that. I couldn't survive with no hope. Not me.
Judy was sentenced over 40 years ago. You know, she was 33, and she's now a woman in her 70s who has behaved immaculately the entire time she's been here. It's remarkable, really.
We checked at 9, 11, 2, and this is it for today. No messages from nobody. I can't believe my kids haven't messaged me yet. Like, Mother, what's happening? Tomorrow's another day.
The lifers may dream of getting out, but most of them have all fallen in with the prison's peaceful routine. Not so Cheyenne Harris. She has spent the last 6 weeks in the segregation block. She got in a fight when she was taunted for killing her own child. Now she and her cellmate Tara are moving back into the wider prison.
Oh, it'd be nice for you to just get back out there. More outside space, not in this tiny room.
Personally, I think it's better than the rest of the prison.
You prefer Seg?
Yeah.
Why?
The people who come up here are more my people, which says a lot about me, huh?
What's the plan? Keep your head down.
Nah, no more fighting, but
Here, Shy.
I'm not good at keeping my head down. So, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
Is it okay if I just follow you?
Yeah.
So most of your friends are in G, because that's where you were.
I don't think you're really having a friend right now. Don't care.
Okay, new home.
Cheyenne Harris is a long way from earning the right to live in one of the more comfortable units. In her new home, there's no privacy and constant surveillance.
It feels quite hostile in here.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like a totally different vibe.
Yep.
Why? Just different women.
Yeah. Yeah, they know. Thank you. Yeah!
Okay.
Oh, yeah. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. Where are you at?
10. As soon as we walked in, the girls down there were saying, oh, you wouldn't be filming with her if you knew what her crime was, etc. Which I sort of anticipated. I think Cheyenne's gonna find the next few days really difficult. I heard them say something about Cheyenne's charge.
Yeah, they'll fuck with her a lot. Yeah.
Because of what she's in here for.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that will continue?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If not worse. Sometimes people like that, they might jump her in the bathroom. But I told her, now that I know her as a person, I'm gonna back her up 100%.
Cheyenne Harris's new unit is a harsh reminder of how tough prison can be.
What's up then? What's up? The CEO ain't finna save you. What's up?
I guess she'll have to stick close to her new ally, Tara, if she's going to survive. After a week in prison, Barbara Parza has made friends.
I'm doing good today. Just another day. I guess it's Tuesday, I think. But I don't even keep track of the days.
Is each day a bit easier?
I think so. You get used to the routine and know a few girls, so that helps.
Feel a bit more settled?
Yes.
We've spent a fair amount of time together now. Every time I ask you about your own situation, you get emotional.
Yeah.
And when I ask you about your kids, you're very emotional. And you've never actually mentioned your husband, the victim, the guy who died.
There's an anger to it. Several people, their first thing when this happened was he committed suicide. And, you know, I think he set me up.
You think he might have poisoned himself and then set himself on fire?
I don't know about the fire part. You know, did he hate me that much? I don't know.
For now, Barbara Parza insists the courts got it wrong. Unless she comes to terms with what she did, I think she'll find life in prison overwhelming. It's a big day for Judy White. She was convicted of first-degree murder in 1979. She's waiting to find out if the parole board will allow her to appeal.
Got people to piss off with their appeals.
You're either Satan or their fairy godmother. There's no in between.
That's true.
This is a very big deal.
We're gonna go have a chat. I am going to give you your letter that they're going to see you on March 5th at 1 p.m. So you're getting it. You're getting an interview.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
I'm so happy. I told you that there was hope and miracles happened, didn't I?
Cheryl?
Yes.
You believe that Judy should be allowed to walk free?
Yes, we sent in a letter of support.
Why do you think Judy should be released?
There's several factors. I know that when the first warden approved it, she was a county attorney at the time and didn't understand why Judy got the sentence that she did anyway. Plus, Judy has done well in here.
Well, I have to go tell Parole.
You have to tell Pops.
Yeah. The warden brought me my letter, honey. Nobody knows. Then I'll see him on March 5th.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
She pretends that she's tough and nothing bothers her, but really she loves you. And you've been together for over 30 years.
inseparable, really.
Yeah.
For you to suddenly disappear, if that's what happens, she's really going to struggle.
Yes, yeah, she will.
In your heart of hearts, how are you going to cope if Judy's released?
Day.
Are you scared?
Absolutely not. Why are you gonna be scared of anything? If she goes out there, I hope to God she's not scared.
How do you like your life in prison?
I'm a realist. And some days I look at the people who are in those mass shootings, who are in the wrong place at the wrong time, who don't deserve what they dealt, and say, geez, they're in worse shape than I am, and they didn't deserve it. Right?
Right.
It's another 4 months before Judy White's hearing. If she gets out, she plans to live with her daughter.
Honey, the warden just came and gave me a piece of paper that I get to see the board on March 5th at 1 o'clock. Are you excited?
I am excited, Mom. It's just, you know, I try to temper myself.
I know. We went through it 100
so
times.
many times.
I know, baby.
No, and I love you, Mama.
I love you too, precious.
Keep thinking about you coming home and me laying on your lap.
Oh, bless your heart, honey.
How about that, the news about the board?
We'll see what comes of it.
Right, you don't want to get your hopes up.
Where to come home. It's been a long time. I was 14 when they took her away. I need her back for me.
I get that. What a day.
Yes. I know you thought for a minute I was crazy, didn't you?
No, I did. Do you know what, Judy? I totally get it. You know, this is so huge. Essentially, this piece of paper is giving you the opportunity to believe that you're going to go home to your babies.
Yeah.
It feels like a momentous day for Judy White, but at the parole hearing, the victim's family will be able to oppose her application. It's by no means certain she will get out.
Hey.
Hello.
I like your salon.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Knowing us, has your perception changed?
I came in knowing that these situations are rarely black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's circumstantial,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes people are just seemingly evil.
Mm-hmm. You didn't answer my question.
What was the question?
Has your perception changed?
I'm fond of some of you,
Mm-hmm.
others I like less.
Me too.
I find some crimes easier to forgive than others. But then I feel guilty sometimes because I think,
What about the family?
what about
Yeah.
the family, the victim's family? If they could see me now,
Mm-hmm.
would they be mad at me? And it's easy for me to think, oh, there's loads of beautiful traits about her because it's not my mother that they killed.
Right.
So I'm like that all the time in here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Despite the parole hearings and changes in the law, most of the women will die in prison, never getting the chance to make a life on the outside. It can be done though.
Does it feel weird being back here?
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, it sure does.
Oh my word. Have you brought all of this in?
Yeah.
They're so excited about seeing you.
Christine Lockhart was sentenced to life without parole for first-degree murder at just 17. She served more than 30 years, but when the Supreme Court changed the law on sentencing juveniles, she was released. You might think she'd seen enough of prison, but she still comes back to honour the friendships she made with the lifers.
How are you doing? Good. How are you? All right.
Judy's good. Yeah. I was saying to Judy, Christy's story is remarkable. And Judy was saying, see, this is why we have hope. You're like their poster girl, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you look adorable.
I'm trying.
This is just an incredibly unusual situation. In a room full of lifers, many of them murderers, abhorrent crimes. But there is so much love in the room, and it's evident, you know, it's the sisterhood and the friendships that exist here that has meant they've made it this far.
You guys help yourself. Can I have the cheese?
Yeah, let's go.
Christy, what do most of the girls or the women ask you when you first come in?
They want to see my nails, and they ask about my boyfriend. Sometimes they ask about sex with my boyfriend. And
Kathy wants to know if you're still having sex every night.
well, pretty much every day. Sometimes we're too tired from working, but
You gotta make up for lost time.
yeah,
I mean, 35 years is a long time.
yeah.
When people come into prison for a long sentence, you forget who you were on the outside, and all of a sudden you become the incarcerated self. And that might be when your kids start growing up, when you lose your mom, when your husband decides that he's not waiting for you any longer. The hope to return fades. You just survive.
So it's less about living and more about existing.
Correct. And so when people come in here and they think that this looks cozy, that people look happy, I would challenge that. They might be happy for just the minimal, but behind that facade is a loneliness, is a hope gone. They aren't just this monster that came in. They're ordinary women. Both sides are suffering. And it is difficult. Since you guys have been here and you've been interviewing people, I did read some of the stories again, and I think, oh my gosh. And then I think, okay, I see them for who they are today. But oh my gosh.
Even in a prison like this, life after life is pretty desperate. What sustains the women is the hope of getting out, whether that's realistic or not.